Hey John, did you hear about that 6-year-old kid who sold NFTs for millions?
I haven't.
I don't care either. We're here to discuss our childhood hustles, and I'm sure if you're over the age of like 30, you're sick and tired of hearing about these kids who are like becoming billionaires by selling NFTs and crypto. We're going back to the 90s today.
Thank goodness.
So the year is 1999, John, and our first childhood hustle together was
Selling chocolates door to door. Yeah.
and roses, sometimes roses.
And chocolates and
Chocolates
roses.
and roses,
Yeah,
depending on the occasion. On the weekend, those roses.
I try to forget about the roses. Yeah. But yeah, that was a crazy time. We were like, what, 12?
Yeah, 12 years old. We're kids who come from immigrant families. We wanted to like do stuff, but we needed money, so we're like, let's make some money. And there was no internet to hit up, right? You can't just rip people off online. Yeah. So we did it door to door. So we joined this company. It was a student employment program, and it had nothing to do with being a student. Our buddy found it, Adam, right?
Yeah, Adam, our Polish immigrant friend, found it in some sketchy classified ad.
Yeah.
Selling chocolates.
Door to door.
Door to door, make commission. Adam did it first.
Yeah, he did it, and he came to school with like $50 one time.
Yeah.
This is like grade 8. When if you had $50 at all, you were like the man.
That was a big deal.
Never mind having like $50 like available. Like imagine you can buy 2 slices, right?
And he made sure to bring it to school, of course.
To show us he had $50, right? So the whole premise of the job was you went door to door selling chocolates or roses. On the weekends, it was roses. But it was like you would meet these 2 guys, and they're probably the age we are now. But they're like in their mid-30s, like 40s, we're not 40s, but you know, and they would drive you around in a van. I don't know how our parents let us do this for the time they did, but we'd meet these guys after school or on the weekends. They'd drive us around, drop us off, and this is before cell phones, right?
It was crazy, yeah. That was the scariest part about it, is that you get dropped off with like Ajax or whatever.
The suburbs of Toronto.
Suburbs of wherever. And you meet us back here at 4 o'clock. You're like, what the hell? Like, you just
no cell phone, no watch. You have to have a watch, obviously.
Yeah, it was scary, man.
And you have to hope they meet you, right? If they don't show up at that intersection,
for real,
you'd be screwed, right?
Yeah. And like, how much would you make? Like $1 sales?
So it was $3 for a box of chocolates, 2 for $5, and you got $1 per sale.
Yeah.
So your goal was to like leave with like $40, right? If it's like a school night, and you made $40 cash, right? That's like you're going home feeling pretty good, right?
Oh, you were a badass dude, man. If you have $40 in grade 7 or 8,
yeah, can you imagine having $40 in your pocket? You were the man.
It's badass, yeah.
We did it for a bit until there's some legal issues.
Oh, are you talking about the time that you had to use the phone? Or?
Yeah, so like this is no cell phones, right? So you're selling door to door. You're walking around, but like, how do you keep? There's no GPS, no Google Maps, so like you have to like know where you are. And these guys would just drop us off, and they're like, yeah, see you in 3 hours. You're like, all right. So one time I was like, man, I don't know what to do. I was like stressed, I'm lost. I'm a 12-year-old kid. I asked a lady if I can use her phone. And remember, she lets me use her phone, and then she thinks I'm like some scammer. I'm like a kid. And they call the police, and then you guys were driving around in this van.
Yeah, I remember this. So look, we're in the van. You normally, the van driver picks up all of us in sequence.
And we never worked in partners either. It was always individual.
You're on your own, always, yeah. And so they're driving around. They pick up each kid, everybody but you were in the van. We got worried.
You couldn't find me. No phone, nothing.
I remember the police getting involved. They might have pulled us over and then directed us to go to where you were.
Because the lady called the cops on me thinking I'm like scamming or trying to hack her phone. I didn't even know who to call.
But like, honestly, the whole van kind of saw you as an instant legend at that point. Like,
well, I do what I can.
The police got involved. Like, we were doing, some of these kids were doing it for a while.
Yeah, they're like professional chocolate
straight up. We were just new to the game. But no one had done that before, so yeah, it was interesting.
Did you make more money selling chocolates or roses?
Chocolates for sure, but there were those good rose moments.
Yeah. There were times in the roses, if you hit at the right moment, like especially if you knocked, it was like a gentleman that would answer, and like the guys drove.
Yeah, well, that's honestly what happened to me, man. So I remember I'm knocking on the door. I'm exhausted. I'm like 3 hours in, right? I'm like,
you're carrying all the stuff too, right? Chocolates, roses.
Part of the student employment program. Do you want to buy any roses or chocolates? And then the guy, I can hear in the background. Would you be my boyfriend? By NSYNC. So I don't romancing. Dude's getting lucky tonight.
Yeah.
And I got the roses, and he's like, yeah, I'll take 2. And he was all done up. I could smell the cologne. Like it was just like oozing off this guy.
Those guys trying to get lucky, and here you are selling roses.
So it was perfect timing. Yeah.
He probably told, "Look what I got you, baby."
Oh yeah, like what a romantic dude out of nowhere.
2 roses.
Wow. That's
and you made
amazing.
a sale, right?
Yeah, for a small price, man. It was worth it. Yeah, but that's how it worked. It was
And then our
crazy.
parents shut us down after the whole police got involved.
Understandably.
And they're like, my mom be worried. She goes, why are you gone all Sunday? Like, you're a kid. You shouldn't be gone all Sunday selling chocolates.
Yeah, but like, what was your best take home on
I
it?
might have hit $100 a few times.
Damn.
It was like an 8-hour full shift, like hustling.
Yeah, because they would do 4 hours, lunch 4 hours. It was
Yeah.
just a serious.
Yeah, it's a
side
serious
hustle.
operation. I don't know how they got away with it. Imagine like dropping kids off today. Like imagine even just putting up an ad to meet a kid.
Yeah, I know. It's completely inappropriate.
And then you go to meet some guy and the guy was in a van. He would like hang out with me and Adam. Like nothing weird, but it was like we'd go for like lunch with this guy. Like, what do you have to talk about? Like a 35-year-old guy when you're 12.
Yeah, you're going to McDonald's on lunch. It was awkward.
Yeah,
as
you're just
hell.
making small talk, and you're like, whoa. Like, thinking back, I'm like, what a loser. Like, what's
Yeah, and how the hell did we end up in this situation?
Yeah.
Well, we were side hustling.
So then eventually we moved on to.
Oh yeah. Well, I
John's
think,
afraid of adventure.
I think you're referring to pirating games and movies.
So in 99, 2000,
Yeah.
the PlayStation was big, and PlayStation 1 and the PS2, I believe.
Yeah.
I haven't played video games since, but that's when video games were big, and
That
everyone
was hardcore.
Everyone got the mod chips, so you could burn games. Mm-hmm. So we started flipping games. Like one guy, I think, would buy a game, and we burn it, make like copies. I'll make like 10 copies, 20 copies, and sell it. And if you're really smart, you would print a colored cover and sell that. Flip
Yeah.
that.
So it looks legit.
Yeah. I remember one time the guy didn't have money and he paid me in a video game, and I got a video game at my house from the Cayman Islands. My mom's like, you have mail. Like when you're 12, even when you're 20, you live at home, when you get mail, your parents like will see it. I was like 12, your parents are not just gonna hand you mail. And they're like, there's a package here for you from Cayman Islands.
That's so random. Yeah.
I remember then I started flipping, well this is around the same, this might have been earlier, but I remember flipping like bubblegum, like Spice Girls bubblegum.
Oh man, that's
I
crazy.
would go to like a Costco, a Price Club, it was called back then, buy like Spice Girls bubblegum and then sell it for a profit.
That's crazy. Is that the one that came with a sticker?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
And then, so anyone that's a true entrepreneur, you know, like if you're in the 90s, you were hustling, you were flipping CDs, you were selling gum or whatever you could.
It was fun. Yeah, it was a lot of fun.
And then we got kind of boring. Then we got pretty professional, right? We started working in grocery stores.
Yeah, I mean, we had to take a real job too. You can't just side hustle. Because I mean, it looks suspicious at some point.
Yeah, you can't just sell video games. Right?
Yeah, so I remember I was working at a grocery store, and then you had
The produce section.
the produce section, of course.
Where the cool people work.
Of course, and I loved it, man. Well, sort of. But yeah, I remember you saying you wanted a job.
I mean, because like the burning was drying up, right?
Yeah,
And as we got older, people stopped playing video games. They're like, oh shit.
it's true. Yeah, you don't get as many calls. And then I referred you, which might have been a mistake.
It was. I got fired.
Yeah, I mean, well, because
Well, to be fair, I got fired from every job.
well, when you're making the money off the other stuff and
Yeah.
you're seeing this, what is it? How much?
$6.70 an hour.
Then you're like, okay.
That's if you were 16. I think under 16 it was like $6.40 an hour.
Yeah. It was so compare it to your other stuff, and you're like, I'm not interested, right?
You make $6.70 an hour, so if you got a 3-hour shift, you wouldn't even make a 20. So you have to get there, like take the bus as a kid, or ride your bike for an hour.
Yeah.
Work the 3 hours, and then go home, and at the end you didn't get $20. You got a 15 or something, right?
That's right. And there were kids hustling in high school that were selling bus tickets too. That were
Really?
cheaper. Yeah, don't ask me how, but yeah, everybody was hustling.
Yeah, so this video is for anyone out there that had a childhood hustle. We'd love to hear about it. Those are some of ours. I was also a soccer referee. We did some other things. That's a different story for a different day, but thank you for watching. Stay tuned for more.